The diner was supposed to be quiet that night, one of those slow, sleepy evenings where the neon lights hummed and the sound of plates clinking was the only thing keeping the place awake. But everything changed in a single heartbeat. A scream ripped through the air, sharp and trembling, and every head in the diner snapped toward the corner booth. A teenage boy, dressed in expensive denim, dripping attitude, and holding a phone like a trophy, leaned back laughing as the young waitress staggered, clutching her cheek, blood trickling down her face. The room froze. And at the door, a group of men in leather, the ones everyone avoided, whispered about, and never dared to cross, slowly stepped inside. If you believe in kindness, respect, and second chances, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. It helps more than you know. The waitress, a woman in her 20s with tired eyes and a name tag that simply read Diana, had been working double shifts for months. Her mother was sick, her younger brother depended on her, and she hadn't slept more than 4 hours in days. But she still tried to smile at customers, still tried to keep her voice gentle, still tried to survive. That night, the teen had swaggered in with a group of friends, loud and entitled, snapping his fingers the moment he wanted something. Diana had served them with patience. She had endured their jokes, their mockery, their arrogance. But when she brought over a plate that wasn't hot enough for him, he didn't complain. He didn't ask politely. He lifted his hand and struck her across the face like she was nothing. The slap echoed across the diner. Her knees buckled. The teen's friends howled with laughter, holding up their phones to capture her humiliation. Diana touched her cheek, shocked more than hurt, but the tears came anyway, not from pain, but from the weight of everything breaking inside her. And that was when the door creaked open. The group of bikers, broad-shouldered, silent, and radiating a dangerous calm, didn't look like heroes. They didn't look like the kind of men who stepped into other people's problems. They looked like the kind of people who minded their business, until someone crossed a line that shouldn't be crossed. The moment they saw Diana bleeding, something in their eyes changed. Especially the older men in the middle, heavy-set, bald, with a gaze that could stop a heartbeat. He didn't shout. He didn't push. He didn't need to. He simply walked forward. The teen lost his laughter the moment the older biker stepped beside the waitress. The diner's air grew thick, heavy, unbreathable. The teen's phone slowly lowered as a flicker of fear crept into his expression. The older biker didn't look at him at first. Instead, he placed his hand gently on Diana's shoulder, steadying her. Her sobs quieted, not because the pain faded, but because someone finally made her feel protected. Only then did he turn. The biker's voice was low, steady, and terrifying in its calmness. He didn't have to yell. He didn't threaten. He didn't brag. He simply told the teen that in this world, strength meant nothing without respect. Money meant nothing without humanity. And a man who hit a woman, especially one working herself to the bone just to get through life, wasn't a man at all. The teen tried to bluster, tried to defend himself, tried to hide behind his expensive jacket and arrogant posture. But when the biker's brother stepped behind him, blocking the exit, he deflated like a spoiled child caught in the act. The leader told him to apologize, not because the biker wanted power, but because the boy needed to understand the weight of what he'd done. At first, the teen refused. His pride warred with his fear. But when the older biker leaned in, voice barely above a whisper, telling him that real men fix what they break, something in the teen cracked. He turned to Diana with shaking hands. The tears he forced out weren't fake, shame had a way of burning the soul until truth spilled out. He apologized. He apologized again. And when Diana flinched away from him, the teen realized the real consequence of his actions wasn't what the bikers could do to him, it was what he had become in her eyes. The older biker then made him do something no one expected. He told the teen to sit down. He told him to put away the phone. And then he told him to listen to Diana's story, her struggles, her life. At first, the teen resisted. But the biker's quiet authority made resistance impossible. So he listened, and for the first time, he understood what hardship really looked like. It wasn't about being grounded for a weekend or losing a game console. Hardship was waking up every morning praying your family survived another day. Then the older biker reached into his own wallet, pulled out a stack of bills, and placed it gently in Diana's trembling hands. It wasn't charity. It wasn't pity. It was respect, a gesture saying, "You deserve better than what life has given you." His brothers followed suit, each contributing something. Diana cried harder, but these were different tears, tears of relief, gratitude, and finally, hope. And then the teen did something no one expected. He stood up, reached into his pocket, and placed his own money on the counter. Not because he was scared. Not because he wanted to look good. But because, for the first time in his life, he felt the weight of empathy. The bikers watched quietly, saying nothing, because they knew the lesson was finally landing. When they left the diner, the teen followed them outside, not to run, but to thank them. The older biker put a hand on his shoulder and told him that he had two choices from now on: repeat his mistakes, or become someone better. The teen nodded, tears slipping silently down his face, and promised himself he would choose the second path. And Diana? She walked home that night bruised but not broken. Because sometimes the world shows you cruelty, but sometimes, just sometimes, it also shows you protectors in unexpected places. If this story touched your heart, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Your support brings more stories like this to life. Before you go, comment below. What lesson did you take from this story?